Welcome to the Resident Evil Timeline finale in Part 6, Umbrella's Redemption. In Part 5, the final surviving Wesker, Alex Wesker, destroyed an entire society in her attempt to gain immortality, and was destroyed by the efforts of Claire Redfield and Barry Burton. But with the BSAA and US government constantly distracted by global bioterror threats, the possibility of the original Umbrella reorganizing itself secretly was appearing to become a reality over the years, and the world came closer than ever to a biological doomsday when Neo Umbrella and the criminal organization The Family orchestrated a widespread C-virus attack in multiple locations. After Wesker's son Jake gave his blood to cure the C-virus and save the world, Chris Redfield abandoned his plans to retire from the BSAA to honor the sacrifice of peers. With the latest revelations, he also understood how important it was to continue the fight against bioterror. The Family had been operating right under the BSAA's nose, and Derek Simmons, one of their top leaders, had infiltrated the US government at its highest levels, planned the president's assassination, and orchestrated viral outbreaks successfully. While Umbrella's contributions to bioterrorism were enormous, it was now clear that they weren't the only ones experimenting within the same field. Umbrella just happened to be caught. The black market had become so deep, so involved with multiple corporations and criminal groups, that the BSAA and TerraSave simply weren't enough. The only hope to stop the spread of bioterror seemed to be Umbrella itself. After Umbrella was dissolved as a legitimate company, its assets were handed over to former employees in the year 2007. Employees that were unaware of Umbrella's true motivations. These ex-Umbrella employees formed a new Umbrella corporation, known as Blue Umbrella, unrelated to the still operating and more nefarious Red Umbrella. Blue Umbrella's mission statement was to atone for the crimes of the old executives and redeem Umbrella's dark legacy. They focused on combating bioweapons through military operations and developing cutting-edge technology to aid in the fight. With the knowledge of the original Umbrella and its ties to other groups, the new organization's activities were extremely effective, but they struggled for years to prove that they didn't have ulterior motives. Blue Umbrella slowly began earning the trust of the BSAA, with the exception of Chris Redfield. These were people that were once associated with pre-Raccoon City Umbrella, and still carried their name. The BSAA might have trusted them, but Chris sure didn't. He temporarily kept his suspicions at bay and concentrated on dismantling the bioweapons black market. One name that kept appearing in the BSAA's investigations was Glenn Arias. Arias was a wanted criminal and was well known in the illegal bioweapons community. After Tricell and Neo Umbrella were dismantled, he was one of the main sellers of their leftovers and became a wanted fugitive, attracting the attention of the US government. He was finally tracked down in the open on his wedding day, and a drone strike was sent in to end him. Glenn Arias survived the assassination attempt, but his wife and most of his wedding guests had been killed. He swore revenge against the world that destroyed his life and began planning massive bioterror attacks. His longtime friend Diego Gomez and his daughter Maria had also survived the bombing, and they joined him on his quest for vengeance, subjecting themselves to physical and genetic enhancements. Maria and Diego obeyed Arias' demands without question, and the group formed an alliance with the remnants of the Los Illuminados cult in Spain that Leon had faced in 2004. Together they planned attacks in the United States, and armed with information on Plaga infections, Arias developed a new virus he named the Animality Virus, otherwise known as the A virus. The A virus was made of 3 different viral strains. The first strain, the latent virus, was laying dormant inside the human body, transferred through fluid such as water or saliva via bites. In some rare cases it could activate on its own, but typically required the second strain, the trigger virus, to activate, which was airborne. The trigger virus could be placed in gas canisters and sprayed over a large area, but had one glaring weakness. It was sensitive to heat and was highly flammable in gas form. The third and final strain, the vaccine strain, could actually reverse the effects of the infection, and zombies infected with the A virus would not attack people with the A virus vaccine. In essence, Arius, with the help of the cult, could now create bioweapons that can tell friend from foe, fully controllable monsters. To test out the virus, he dispersed it into the Great Lakes. Many water refineries operated in the area, and he even created his own water bottling company as a front to help spread the virus. Outbreaks started being reported in multiple parts of the US, and one made its way to Washington, D.C. Agent Leon S. Kennedy was placed in charge of a Metro SWAT unit to fight against the bioweapons, but the Los Illuminados cult wanted revenge against Leon and forced a man named Patricio to work as a mole within the US government. He gave up Leon's location, and a bomb was set off, killing the entire Metro SWAT unit and leaving Leon as the only survivor. This leads us to the events of Resident Evil Vendetta.
When I was a kid, I used to think about the kind of man I'd grow up to be. I never thought my life would turn out this way.
Leon began experiencing the same psychological effects that Chris had when he had lost his own unit in Edonia and took a paid vacation to get away from work. He questioned if it was even worth fighting anymore. It seemed the world just kept getting worse, no matter how many times they saved it. In the meantime, the BSAA had found evidence that Glenn Arias was hiding in Mexico and sent an undercover agent, Kathy White, to investigate, but she went missing along with her son Zach. Once they lost contact with her, the BSAA sent in a team with Chris Redfield in charge. Their mission was to find and rescue Kathy and her son, and bring in Glenn Arias.
So you're Chris Redfield, the expert on the living dead, the big hero. Bet you killed a lot, huh? So, Mr. Expert, any advice on dealing with them?
Yeah. You got friends?
Sure, I got friends.
Family?
Yeah, got a wife, my folks, a little sister.
There's corporations out there creating viruses, turning people into bioweapons. People like you and me. Your friends. Family. There'll come a day you'll be faced with a decision. Kill them. Be killed. Doesn't sound very heroic, does it?
Sorry.
The team had followed her signal to a mansion, but something was wrong. It seemed abandoned, and there were no signs of anyone living there recently. It was a trap. Arias had known that the BSAA was coming for him, and he purposely drew them to that exact location. Chris was the only one that survived the mansion attack and came face to face with Arias. He had been tracking him for a long time and was determined to bring in the criminal, but Arias was also a skilled and agile hand-to-hand fighter.
The wonderful thing about my products is that they know the difference between ally and enemy. Chris barely survived their encounter and saw firsthand that Arias had access to bioweapons that he could fully control. The attacks in the United States were happening more frequently, and BSAA was struggling to keep them quiet, in an attempt to keep the public from panicking. One of their most trusted advisors was Rebecca Chambers, another surviving STARS member and close friend of Chris since the Spencer Mansion incident in the Arklay Mountains. Instead of fighting bioterrorism directly such as Chris did, she took a different path and used her medical knowledge to study viruses. She had been working on a cure for the A virus and was reporting her findings to the BSAA, and she finally had a breakthrough but hadn't had an opportunity to test the cure yet. Arias was aware of her findings and sent Maria in to infect the university Rebecca was based in. He wanted to make sure the cure would never see the light of day. The cure that Rebecca developed had worked, and she was clear of the infection, but she still had to survive the night until the BSAA could arrive and sterilize the area.
Rebecca,
Chris?
you all right?
You should be wearing a clean suit, or at least a mask.
Yeah, well, how you doing?
I'm I'm fine for now. But shouldn't I be in quarantine?
If the virus really was that contagious, we'd all be dead already. Besides, quarantine takes too long, and I need you now. So don't worry. We'll get you to a hot shower and everything will be okay.
Same old Chris.
Rebecca had been studying the outbreaks and saw the pattern of where they were happening. She figured out how it was spreading, and she deduced that Los Illuminados were involved in its development. And Chris and Rebecca knew that Leon had the most experience handling an infection that can control bioweapons, and went to search for him. But the Leon they found was quite a different man, sick of repeating the same horrible situations.
It's a little early to be that deep in the bottle, Leon.
Well, look who it is. The BSAA's golden boy and Dr. High Hopes. The hell do you want? I'm on vacation.
Let's talk about Los Illuminados. Remember the type of BOWs they were using?
That's so long ago, I don't remember.
So what? You just gonna sit around here another week and do nothing?
I never make plans that far ahead. Hey, another bottle here.
Cancel that.
Hey, who the hell?
Enough! Cut the shit.
Guys, come on.
It's like I'm stuck in a goddamn loop.
What?
What are you talking about?
I keep fighting. And fighting and fighting. And instead of seeing an end to this shit, it just keeps getting worse. Is this what my life's supposed to be? Fighting the living dead and the bastards that make them? What's the point of it all?
Look. This is Glenn Arias, an arms dealer. A smart bomb was dropped on his wedding. He lost his family and his wife. And now, he's got a grudge. After the attack, he went underground. But now he's back with BOWs and a score to settle.
The government dropping bombs on weddings. Who's the bad guy here?
Arias, and it's our mission to bring his ass down.
Your mission, not mine.
God damn it, Leon!
Stop! Leon, with everything that's going on, you just sit here and feel sorry for yourself. And you're letting a grudge get the better of you. God, I cannot believe how alike you two are. I created a vaccine, and I tried it on myself, and it works. But until we find out how Arias triggers the virus, who knows if it'll work the same for everyone else. I can't imagine what you two have been through. But I know that neither one of you are the type of person who would sit here and argue while the world dies. That's not who you are. Or is it?
Arias had been following their trail and had been monitoring the entire conversation. He ordered Diego and Maria to go in and kill everybody, but he was intrigued by Rebecca and he wanted her taken alive. They prepared for the ambush, and Patricio, the man that had betrayed Leon before and got his squad killed, rushed in, begging for his help.
Leon! You know that guy I was telling you about? One that sold out me and my unit?
You don't understand.
This is the guy.
Please, stop.
Hey,
Official
what do you
business,
think you're...
it's okay. Leon, come on!
What do you want?
Please, you're the only one I know from the DSO. It's my family. You've got to save them.
What?
My wife and my daughter are in Spain. An arms dealer is getting paid by the surviving members of Los Illuminados to launch a large-scale bioterror attack. I know too much. They're going to kill me and my family. Save them.
Damn it!
Rebecca!
Target 1 down. Target 2 secured.
DC, they hit us at the hotel and took Rebecca. Track him.
I know the big guy. He's with Ares.
What's Ares want with Rebecca?
I don't know. I just want to get her back.
Hi, honey, it's me. Were you able to get the man you said would help? I'm so scared. Selena misses her daddy. Patricio? Hello?
Papa?
Patricio?
Mama!
Who is this?
Papa?
Where's Patricio? Put my husband on the phone right...
There's a reason he gave that to you before he died. Look, man. I need you.
Rebecca woke up to find herself in a bizarre situation, captured by Arius and outfitted in a wedding dress. Rebecca revealed that she knew all about the virus, and Arius was impressed by her intelligence, but he had lost his mind, and revealed the horrific plans he had in store for her.
That's Sarah. My wife. You look so much like her. It's not a coincidence that we met. It's fate. I'm redoing the wedding. This time, with you. Rebecca, meet Sarah. We're going to be so happy. I'm going to replace your arm with Sarah's. Maybe that will change your mind about me.
Leon and Chris luckily had all of Rebecca's research and knew that Arius was planning something huge. They determined he must have been operating from his hideout in New York City. He had planned to send tankers around New York filled with the second strain, the trigger virus, to activate the infection, and the attack had already started. The BSAA and New York Police Department were on the ground fighting the undead. Leon, Chris, and his BSAA squad was on the way to help and realized that Arius was using the tankers to spread the virus. They had to go into the city and destroy the tankers to keep the infection from growing, but Arius had anticipated the BSAA would arrive and had bioweapons ready to fight back.
Dibs on the bike.
As the chaos outside continued, Arius had used Rebecca's vaccinated blood to make the A-virus even stronger. The cure she made before wouldn't fight the new strain, but it couldn't be administered in gas form anymore. The new strain had to be injected directly. Rebecca was slowly succumbing to the infection, and Chris rushed to Arius' headquarters to find her before it was too late.
Maybe if you can stay alive long enough, you can watch with me as my BOWs bring down the most powerful nations.
You belong in a nut house, asshole.
Leon, sorry I'm late.
Chris and Leon split up, and while Leon kept the zombies at bay, Chris went to find Rebecca and the A-virus vaccine that Arius had hidden. The third strain of the virus could be used as the vaccine, and it had the ability to reverse the infection in the city, something that Arius had deemed necessary in case he lost control of the virus. And Chris finally found Rebecca, but Diego had been placed in charge of protecting her from him. But this wasn't the first enormous creature he had faced in his time.
No, wait! Where's the vaccine? Tell me!
With only minutes to spare before it was too late to save Rebecca, Chris escorted her for extraction, but the crazed weapons dealer wouldn't let him take his new wife. The stakes were too high. If Chris failed this time, Rebecca would die, and the entire city and the world would fall. While Arius lay dying, he ordered Diego to unleash the final phase of his plan, a trump card only to be used in a desperate situation, and Diego revealed the full extent of his experimentation. Diego and Arius had fused into a single hulking tyrant, laser-focused on killing Chris. But Chris was no longer alone. Arius had 2 bioweapons veterans to contend with, and Chris's BSAA backup. With the vaccine from the 3rd strain found, Chris saved Rebecca's life, and the entire infection in New York could now be reversed once it was dispersed into the air. Sadly, the victims killed by the bioweapons couldn't be returned to life, but the undead would revert back to their normal selves.
When I was a kid, I never thought my life would turn out this way.
And once again, we find ourselves back where we started.
What do you mean?
We got the bad guys. Hope we made the world a little safer.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah?
How much longer can we keep going on like this?
I don't know. I never make plans that far ahead.
And that concludes the events of Resident Evil Vendetta. Soon after, in the year 2014, Claire Redfield was dispatched by TerraSave on her own mission during the events of the Heavenly Island manga. Reports of possible bioweapon activity were being reported from an island off the coast of South America, an island chain with connections to the horrific events she experienced 3 years before and Umbrella. This was the secret location Oswald Spencer had sent Alex Wesker to, before she decided to abandon Umbrella. In the 1990s, Alex had constructed a lab here and became its head researcher, tasked with creating an immortality virus for Spencer. After she abandoned the island and Spencer died, her researchers, led by Dr. Dirk Miller, were forced to continue research without her. Over time, they kidnapped several island natives, experimented on them, and forced the resulting mutants to fight each other. Each time a mutant won, the virus was extracted from the winner, and Dr. Miller hoped to find slight mutations in the virus, improving itself from individual to individual. An experiment based from the same ideas that created the Hypnos tyrant on Sheena Island over 15 years before. Eventually, even scientists began killing each other, and Dr. Miller was the only survivor left, with possession of the final bioweapon, a new tyrant. And this tyrant contained another strain of the T-virus, which created enhanced zombies that could spread the infection more effectively, even from simple scratches. These zombies could coordinate together, swimming, climbing surfaces, even retaining some level of intelligence. When Claire arrived on the island, she found evidence of bioweapons after discovering an infected fish and called in the BSAA for support. She reached out to her brother directly, but Chris was busy on another mission and sent in Parker Luciani in his place, Jill's previous partner, and a team of South American BSAA agents to assist. And innocent people would soon fall victim to the virus. The tyrant was loose, and a competitive reality show called Idol Survival was being filmed. Most of the participants became infected, and just a few survivors escaped the zombie attack and struggled to survive alongside Claire. But TerraSave wasn't the only group investigating the island. One of Red Umbrella's competitors, the Shenya Pharmaceutical Corporation, was attending to find Dr. Miller and take this T. Miller virus for themselves. Shenya had infiltrated the island using 2 undercover agents and captured Dr. Miller and killed him after acquiring his files. The Shenya agent Z. Lee, after being injured gravely, injected herself with the virus and turned herself into a bioweapon. With the zombie-infested island and now 2 major bioweapons out of control, Claire and the survivors had to work together and escape. And when the 2 creatures began fighting each other, she attacked with a rocket launcher, and in the ensuing chaos allowed the group of survivors to escape. Claire was evacuated from the island, and the BSAA went in to clean up the biohazard. Her quick mission had uncovered another island full of innocent people destroyed by Umbrella's experimentation, and it reminded Claire of her experiences during Revelations 2, hoping that one day the island would be able to recover.